All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel. And as always, thanks for watching, and hit that subscribe button, and I will keep making videos, blah, blah, blah. And if you got any questions, you can shoot me a message, or if you want to send me videos, if you're having a bike problem, you can find me on Instagram, Dirt Church Racing, or you can find my personal one. It's Chris Jepson, Jepson, or even on Facebook, whatever. So let's get right to this. We're putting the lower half, the inner cases together. So the first thing, I've prepped all this stuff. So the first thing you want to do is obviously get your gears in here. And so when you get your gear sets in here, and then your next step is to put your shift forks. You want to put your shift forks in, set your shift forks in. Now you'll set this, let me example. I got it up here because I was shifting it, trying to make sure everything's squared away. You know, it's perfect till it's not right now. Anyway, so you'll put your shift forks in here before you put these pins, this pin and this pin in here. And then you'll have your shift forks facing, this shift fork will face that way. This shift fork will face this way because you don't have your pins in there. But your drum in here. And then you can put your little dowel pieces into the grooves on your shift drum. You can put those in there, and then while they're in there, slide that shaft down. Do the same on the other side. You put the pin into the middle shaft there, and then slide that down in there. And then you can manually shift it. You can rotate it and manually shift it. And you'll want to set it up flat, like I said in the other video. And then, because when you set it down, sometimes this is what happens. Your gear comes off of here. Now, I'm sure I've covered this. There is a hole here. That is where your oil comes out. You want to make sure you line the oil holes up. So that's there. And then you throw your gear back on there. Like that. Other thing you want to do is you want to clean these. These are for your oil strain for your oil. You want to clean those. And then clean any gasket maker you got off your case. Both sides. You want to do both sides so you can put new gasket, some new gasket maker around. I just do one side, smear it in there good. I'll show you. And then you'll put your cases together. Now, important note, you want to make sure everything's pushed in there. Just thought of this. When you set your case down, the shaft that goes through, you kind of want to make sure this shaft's sitting up. So that's what I got this block of wood here for. So it kind of sits up off there and it doesn't push this gear back out. Because then you're going to have issues that way. This pin right here, you can see it's got you want it to line up with this one right here. I'm trying to shoot the video the best I can. So you want to make them sure they're faced the same way. So you can enable to pop that together. And I'm going to set the camera down. And let it do its thing for a minute. So I can apply some gasket maker to this side of this case. Now when I remove this gasket maker off, I usually use a putty knife. I don't like to use a razor blade because I don't want to dig into the case. I've came across where that has been the case, and you can actually make groove marks in there. And then I've had a case leak where it looks like they took out some of the aluminum, which is crazy. I mean, you can fix that. You can put a little bit more gasket maker in there and solve that problem. That's not a big deal, but if you can prevent it, obviously that's what we want to do. Just get the gasket maker on everything. And no, there is not a gasket that goes here, and Suzuki doesn't make one, so that's why you do this. And I'll show this when I put the rest of this together. I'll try to shoot a video. Sometimes I get frustrated, don't shoot a video all the time. So, definitely want to put your lid back on so we can save as much as we can for next time. Again, so we got that. This gasket ring goes here. So this has to be and you want your dowel pins on one side, obviously. And before I do that, I throw a little bit of oil in our bearings here. Yeah, I know the oil runs through here, but I'm already there. Gotta make sure everything's lining up. And I get a rubber hammer and I'll do a little tippity tap. And those are your inner cases together. You just got to make sure you get everything lined up. Mainly the one that's got the groove in it. And then you can go ahead and put your bolts back in it. Which should be, if you took this apart and you separated everything, you should have everything separated, so it's easier to put together. If you see I have put here all my inner case bolts are in here. Everything else is over there. I know that looks like a cluster. And yeah, might be, but we got it together anyway. These are your oil pan drain plugs. They look like this. If they're starting to wear out, you definitely recommend replacing those. Same with your oil pump bolt, because it's a Phillips, and they get real rounded out. So, like, maybe you can't see that, and that sucks, but they get rounded out because it's a goddamn Phillips. So, throw a new one in there. And I would highly recommend one of these. Now, before I crank anything down, I'm just going to get everything started. In here. And if you don't have the book, I would recommend you get it. Very handy. And I'm just looking for my tools, because God knows they're everywhere. This is what happens when you don't work on things and you come back to them weeks later. Before I snug everything up, I just want to get everything started here. And yep, you get gasket crap everywhere. I think that goes there. A lot of this stuff, if it's not completely worn out, I'll save it. You never know if you get in a pickle. But there's a shift fork. You can see it's completely dogged out and worn out. Yeah. No, I'm not saving that. But it was just one of the things that I came across. Replacing. That was, by the way, one ride. Well, I won't say one ride. One day. One practice day on that shift fork. And I had roached it. totally sucks, but that's how it goes sometimes. So I'll show everybody where these bolts go. There's some longer ones and some shorter ones. You can mark them. I did put some marks on here, but you'll obviously know the short ones will go too far in when you set them in. And if you want, you could go into the book and look at torque specs. Offhand, no idea if these are torqued or not. If so, I would probably use a small ratchet to torque them. So I can show you guys. So when you're putting, this is the stator side of your motor. So there's a bolt here, here, one here, and we'll do the outside. There's one here, one here. Then you got your two oil pan drain plugs down at the bottom. And then you have three in the inside. You got one right here, one here, and a longer one right here. And that's that side. And then if you flip it over, on this side, should have one left, I believe. And I believe, shit, maybe not. They're only one. Probably goes on the other side. I missed the hole. On this side, I'm freelancing this without the book. You got one right here on the top, and then you have this long one that's in the top of your oil pump that you can pull out, and that'll allow. If you pull those out, that'll allow you to split the case. When you go, I didn't make a video of that, but that would be it. When you split it. Right there. So the one I missed, this dog right here, right down here. So get that in there, and that is it. That gets you your inner cases put together. And then I'll do another video, and we'll start putting all this other stuff back together. Just trying to make a short video, even though it's this long. But anyway, you guys can fast forward it if you need to see something. But that's your inner cases with your transmission put together. Now, once we get my gears and my shift pin and all that in there, we'll shift it and make sure everything works. Thanks for watching, and until then, peace.